Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to a bit of a different video today. As you all know, the Overwatch beta is out. It's the third day of the beta as far as I know, or might be the fourth or the fifth, something like that, but it's definitely the first week. I finally got my key and I got the opportunity to jump into a few of the scrims between a European team and one of the North American teams. And for me, that was the first opportunity to actually check out the observer mode, because with Heroes of the Storm, with StarCraft and Warcraft 3, observer modes are usually pretty straightforward. You have some extra information that you can show every now and then, but if you're going into like an FPS game, it's of course a completely different ball game. And I've never seen the observer mode before, so yesterday was an opportunity for me to just test that out a bit, try to check out the camera controls, see how exactly I can switch through the players' views and stuff like that. And I streamed these games as well, and people said like, hey, I should upload them to YouTube too. So in the next few days, you're going to get a couple of Overwatch matches as well. The one thing I really want to keep you in mind, though, when managing expectations here, is that this is really, really early testing, okay? So don't expect like a perfect full cast or anything. There's still a couple of things that I definitely have to improve on, especially the first video that I upload today. There are a couple of things with the observing that I just completely tested out, where I just had a look of what I can do. I, for example, didn't even use the first-person view once. We had like the free-flowing camera and also like a third-person view. In the next video, that is already going to be a little bit different and probably also better. With the casting itself, there's a few things that I still have to make sure that I check out. I need to go a bit deeper into the strategy. I also need to check out a few more of the ability names and all these things. So this is really, really early testing, but I still wanted to give you a bit of an opportunity, first of all, to see what kind of process there sometimes is with the casting when you're trying to improve it over time, and also, of course, what it looks like trying to figure out how an observer mode and all of this works. And a bit of Overwatch footage probably isn't really too bad, and let's keep in mind that these two teams are also pretty decent. There are no team names. It's basically just a North American group versus a European team, but you might recognize a few of those names. There's a lot of former TF2 players, Quake players, and whatnot, so a lot of guys that have experience in FPS. But that being said, without further ado, we're going to jump into the games here today, and then we're going to talk afterwards a little bit again. Alright everybody, so we have our first Overwatch cast. It's more of a test of the observer mode than anything else now, because, well, we need to get familiar with everything that's happening. So we have a US team currently scrimming versus a European team. There's no real team names just yet, but this is a pretty high level match that we're currently checking out here. We already have on the red side for the attacker Sturmy, currently playing Tracer. Reinhardt is being played by Vicious. We have Wince on Pharah. Ink is playing Mercy. Slaanesh also on Pharah, and we're having Lucio played by Sonigo. So therefore they have like two supports at this point, one tank, and a lot of potential for damage here in general. And then when we're looking at the NA team, Slasher on Mercy, we have Roadhog played by Tailspin. We have also IID on Soldier at this point, McCree by Clock, Minstrel is playing the support here, the second support with another Lucio, and Dehang is playing on Pharah, and we've seen him on this hero already a little bit earlier. So another 10 seconds until the players are going to be in the game, and the defense is already setting everything up here. At this point, it looks like they're trying to sneak over from the side. Wince is in position, and so far, he's just like trying to fire a couple of rockets in there. We already have Pharah flying in right away. Slaanesh is just like trying to push them back so that they can go for the payload. And yep, there's the attack, trying to push them in as far as they can go. Tailspin is already in the middle of things, and is taken out immediately. 1 versus 5, that just does not work at all. Lucio is also taken out right now, and oh my god, look at that, the NA boys are doing really well here. McCree is going ham, is finally taken out by Vicious with Reinhardt, slamming him away with the hammer, but that was really well done here, and they capture the point without a problem whatsoever. So the attackers already securing the payload here, starting to move in. We're having again Sturmy with Tracer trying to rush in. The payload is at this point being escorted, and they're doing a great job. Slaanesh now up at the top, trying to take position with Pharah, and just like going for one rocket after another, taking position a bit farther down to the bottom now, and just escorting the payload as much as they can. Mercy, of course, in the backline, always with the heals the entire time. Can also go for the damage boost here, and that makes Pharah, and also, of course, especially Widowmaker, just so absolutely insanely strong. Most of the heroes, or a lot of them, have 200 hit points in the game right now, and damage boosted Widowmaker can just simply one-shot nearly everybody. Look at Reinhardt there, up at the top already. Vicious on Reinhardt is currently taking the spot, and here comes the Reinhardt from the defense, moving in with a quick charge. Very nice move, and of course Tailspin in the back is just waiting for another hook. Oh, Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battle already happening here. And yep, job well done thus far. But at this point, we're having, again, a big fight already going on here in the middle of things. For now, at least, the payload has been secured by Tailspin and the US boys. And we're having him, of course, on Roadhog, and that hero in general is just like Pudge from Dota 2, if you so want. Those hooks that you can get in there are just absolutely insane, and with a quick shotgun shot and also just like a melee attack, you can basically eliminate nearly every hero in the game at this point. And there he is already! Puts in Tracer! Tracer locked in the wall, so at least for now she gets away. But still, at this point, we're having the attackers moving in again, trying to secure the payload here. And they're doing pretty well at this point. Trying, of course, with Reinhardt again to push the shield back in. You can already tell that we have this Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battle just raging the entire time. Tailspin waiting for an opportunity to get the hook in. The shield is nearly gone on the side of Vicious, but in the backline we have Mercy healing him as much as she possibly can. But everybody else is just fighting still. Tailspin with his heroic ability goes in, but he goes down way too alone here. There was no support in the back. Apparently Ink was not with the team, could not heal with Mercy. Slaanesh just with Pharah moving in the entire time to push the opponents back as much as they can, and the double Pharah is really paying off for them. They're putting so much aggression now on them, and it works extremely well. Going with the payload already towards the next spot, and they are really starting to secure this position now as well. This is of course one of these choke point areas that we are seeing in the game right now in Overwatch. We have the Pharah starting to move forward, and at the same time you can see that the tank is getting in position again, and it's really difficult for the defense now to flank them. We have Pharahs everywhere shooting one rocket after another. Tracer is zipping around the entire time trying to get into the backline. Sturmy is everywhere at this point, and already the charge. Winston is in. Dahang is trying to somehow take down 4, but he is completely alone. There wasn't just any coordination here. Nobody jumped in together with him. Tailspin was trying to cover him for a little bit, but didn't really get anything done, and both of the supports were not with him. Lucio is now finally there once more. We have still Tracer zipping around. Sturmy, the old Quake 3 Pro, is doing as much as he can there, but at this point he's finally taken out, and that might be the moment that the team has been waiting for. Already the shield gone. Here comes Tailspin with another good hook, but maybe not good enough. Look at the shield that we're seeing here on Reinhardt. He's trying to get some damage in, but the shield's already gone, and immediately goes for the charge here. Vicious is completely isolated right now, gets hooked by Tailspin, is about to go down, but the shield is active again. But we have Tailspin still trying to rush in. He gets another hook off, and finally Reinhardt is down. Keep those two Pharahs in mind though. Slaanesh from the backline is doing as much as he can here, but the corner is being secured by the defense. The blue team is doing extremely well here, and now everybody on the side of the red team is of course finally moving back in. Securing those early spots is not really a big problem for you, since when you die you are immediately back in the action, whereas the attackers of course, or the defense, has to walk the entire map. And in this case now we have finally reached the middle ground here, and it's much easier for the attackers or for the defense to actually make anything happen there, because the way from base to the payload in this case is not as long as it was before. Already Tracer in the backline. Look at Sturmy. I mean, like, he is everywhere. Finally taken out, but the attackers have been doing pretty well so far, with him just disrupting the backline as much as they could. As long as you put pressure on Mercy, you can really do so much here. Vicious already taking them down, going for the rogue ability. Reinhardt is in the middle of things, and immediately Pharah's raining their ults now in as well. There's a nice resurrect now from Mercy. Good job by Slasher, resurrecting everybody here. Once again, we're having up at the top Vince just trying to go for the support lines. Lucio is nearly dying, but Pharah is finally taking out. Look at that tailspin hook. Really well done here by him. Great move. Both of the Mercies now doing their best to just resurrect the entire team, and they're doing an absolutely amazing job of keeping the fight going. We have up at the front line again Reinhardt with a shield, and death rains from above as Slaanesh on his Pharah is moving in once again. Great heals here from Ink, keeping everybody alive at this point, and the defense is starting to really struggle here. Dahang is going straight for Reaper, and he is taking out everyone. The tank killer not stopping at the tank, but going straight in for a kill against Lucio as well. Job well done in this case now. Great moves here. We have another shot off going against Pharah. Well done here. Sturmy blinking away. Really well done here by him. Just look at him zipping around. He's up against 4 now though, and that's of course a really bad spot for him to be in, but he is still alive, still putting some pressure on the back line, but now finally taken out there. So great job once again by the defenders here, but they are up against the attack again, because all of these bad boys are back to business right now, have finally moved in position again. Nice hook here by Tailspin. Really well done. Doesn't get the kill, but that was extremely solid after all.
Vicious, of course, now that he's back to business, has his shield on Reinhardt up once again. You can really tell on this little nook over here that we have Mercy together with Lucio. The two supports are just waiting for the rest of the team to move in. But the Reaper is there. De Hang is going ham, and he is already in the middle of things. De Hang just moving away right now since he realizes he's in a bit of trouble. Gets finally taken out. That was a very, very nice move that we saw there from Lucio. De Hang trying, of course, to go back in there. 3 minutes remaining. Nice hook by Tailspin. That bad boy with another great hook, taking down one of the heroes here, going for the shotgun shot right afterwards. Vicious is also getting hooked here. The Hang is also back to business, or at least he should be in a couple of seconds, and then he could reap havoc once again. Up at the top here, we already have him. De Hang trying to get into position, but as you can see, the attackers are pushing the payload forward once more. We already have Slaanesh going up to the top, trying to fly in, double Pharah, and they could still use their heroic ability here, or at least Slaanesh can. He has his heroic up, doesn't use that just yet, and if he goes for the ultimate, he can maybe take the defense down. Slasher in the backline is immediately eliminated. Great ulti up by Wins, really well done, and Tailspin is the only survivor, at least for now, who's at the point. Sturmy is also alive, Vicious is alive, and Sonico, so it's at this point a 3 versus 3 still, but Tailspin is in a bit of trouble. Great shots here from Soldier, taking down the tank, and that's the opportunity that the defense really needed to prolong this a bit more. We already have down here Sturmy in position, was trying to go for his own heroic, but Sturmy just like zipping around the entire time. Tailspin and the rest of the team are trying to get a hold of him, but it's proving extremely difficult. Up at the top, we're already seeing Mercy together with Slaanesh trying to push the hang back, and he on his Reaper is doing extreme damage here the entire time. It's really starting to get tricky for the defense to make anything happen here, especially of course with Pharah's raining damage from the skies the entire time. Good job, and Reinhardt is also up at the front again. But Tailspin somehow came in from behind. He's trying to jump in again against Wins. We already have Reinhardt on the point, and the payload should move in at any moment right now. De Hang and the rest of the team are just like defending the spot, and they are doing extremely well here. Of course, they have a bit of an advantage now. The defender's advantage when you are at the last spot, since you are going to be so much faster at the payload, since you resurrect just a few meters behind that, basically in your own base. But for now, we're having again this corner here and that choke point position being extremely dangerous. Once more, Reinhardt tanking the damage for the team. They're still playing with a single tank here at the front and the double support, and it's working out well. But McCree moved in, Clock doing a great job here, and just look at that damage boost that we're seeing from Mercy. Mercy, of course, with that damage boost is just like completely putting him into a great position, taking nearly everybody down with 1 or 2 shots. De Hang now also trying once more to just like go around and maybe get a kill in there. They're really starting to pressure the attackers, and they have to move back. De Hang is in a bit of trouble on the other hand. He's trying to move in against one of those tanks, and the Reaper is an absolute tank killer, but it's very difficult for him to make anything happen. He's up at the top now, again up against Pharah, but the fight around the payload is once again happening right over here as the attackers are starting to push that in. Slasher is trying to make sure that at least Soldier gets some extra damage in, but it's not going to be easy for them to make anything happen here. And Soldier is already down, and up at the top, Pharah is now starting to move in once again. Minstrel and Lucio is one of the few heroes that is still there for the defense. Tailspin with another great hook, trying to take them down here. Gets another good shot in, but there's just way too much damage against him. A 1 versus 3, and it looks like it's victory for the attackers. The defense is defeated. Great place here in a pretty cool game. And this is, of course, a victory for the European boys in this match. And the game, or the play of the game, goes to Clock as McCree going straight for his shots there. Yeah, great kills that he had. Was also damage boosted, as you can still see at the side here. So gets kill after kill, another headshot against Onyx, and he gets another one. Oh my god, what a bad boy. And great play here in our first Overwatch match. The rematch is about to start, everybody. Now we have the NA team on the attack and the European team on the defense. Once again, I want to just like highlight that we are currently in a position where we're just experimenting a bit with the observer mode. So the casting is going to be a little bit weird at the beginning. I'm still trying to get used to the casting in Overwatch and trying to also get a bit of a hang of how to do things the best. We have, of course, an observer mode that Blizzard hasn't really put the highest priority onto just yet, which is absolutely understandable. So it's just trying to make things work right now, and this is basically the first attempt that I'm trying to cast Overwatch. So let me know also when you watch this on YouTube in the comments of what you think about like the casting style, what you think about the game so far, and also the observing in general. It's going to improve over time, of course, but at the beginning this is all still a little bit tricky right now. So in this case, we also don't have a first-person view. People were wondering about that, but we are focusing on observing a couple of heroes. I showed that in the last game with Reaper a bit, but I'm going to try and put that in a bit more. But as I said, it's still a bit weird. The game is starting, and the US boys are already leaving the gate. And they have a Winston immediately. And he is jumping in deep, trying to secure at least the building for now. And that's exactly what he does. Down at the bottom, it's Reinhardt versus Reinhardt. One of the best tanks in the game right now with the shields. It's absolutely great. It's really one of those things that it can use, but already the first kill here, and in this case it's the one against Vicious. Reinhardt, look at that, together with Winston, they are jumping in. I'm really liking that. Good coordination between the two tanks, but they are two alone. They jumped really far forward, and there was nobody to help them out. There wasn't even a Mercy to help them out with this one, and therefore both of them go down. So without a tank, there's very little hope for the NA team to make anything work right now. They are still trying to secure that position over here, but as I already said, it's not easy. They're going for the payload. We have Clock fighting against Farah here. They are both trying to take her down. Lucio was moving in now as well. It's a 1-for-1 in this situation, and the kill is there. Winston jumps in once again on the ape out of the tank. We have, of course, Vicious trying to help them out immediately. The hang on his own Reinhardt is moving in right away, and here comes Minstrel with Lucio from behind trying to take down Vicious. That didn't really work out too well. Both of the tanks, they don't even see each other. They go for the battle, and here come the axes, but both of them end up dying. We have a 5 versus 3 situation now in the game as the NA team is starting to secure the point. They're already on A, moving onto the spot, and Tailspin jumps in immediately, drops the shield, and tries to secure the position for his team now. They're doing actually like really well, and they will get the payload. Now it's pretty common actually at the beginning of the game that the first spot is easily taken. I've been going over this in the last game already a bit, but I want to highlight that again. If you of course have a position this close to your own home base, every time one of your heroes dies, you will be back in just a few seconds where your opponent has to cross the entire map to get there. So it's going to take quite some time. We already have IDD taking position with Sniper up at the top here. And in this case, you can really tell that she's trying to just like find out if she can maybe get a kill or two over here. And that would force the European team already to cross the entire map again to just get into a good position. The payload is starting to move in. We have a McCree just like waiting for an opportunity to maybe go even with his heroic ability. A lot of heroic are up actually. You can see that in the HUD right now at the bottom. And McCree could try to move in for a good kill. Actually, I think at this point we might see McCree going for it, but already Winston in position, and McCree is going to have a very, very tough time getting away from him. Already taken out. McCree is dead. The payload still in position over here, but we have now Vicious starting to move in with Reinhardt. It's a Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battle, and Farah in the backline going for the heroic ability, but already taken out. Winston is jumping in now too. The Ape's so super aggressive. A great tank to have in the game, especially of course when you have a bit support for him. Reinhardt is now trying to assist as well. Everybody just entering the building while Tailspin is still on it, trying to push them back, and we have Farah now up at the top. Sturmy is doing whatever he can to keep them at bay, but he is pretty limited in his options right now. He doesn't have a heroic ability now either, so he can't go for the bombardment. We have him already taken out. Winston is just absolutely everywhere, and again the payload is just moving forward, and we are starting to approach once more these choke point positions that we have in the game. Well, at the front line, Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battle is going on. The NA team is doing an excellent job here. They are so good in time already and starting to push that in. And just look at Winston. Every single time that they're trying to approach one of these like setup spots from the opponent's team, just jumps in. Reinhardt is helping him out too, charges in, but he's extremely alone. But Lucio is already here. He's got his back and is making sure that he doesn't go down just yet. The damage boost on McCree for the NA team right now. Clock is currently in the structure here at the corner and just like waiting for an opportunity to take somebody down. And he already sees that in the backline. We have a few heroes of the defense starting to ambush the backline heroes, especially those two supporters, Mercy and Lucio. It's very standard to run with those two. Already an attempt to go past the shield of Reinhardt. Look at Winston. He's in again. McCree taken out in a Western-style duel. And now we have the Apes going completely apeshit. Very well done. The monkey is on the case. Oh! Tailspin is going ham with his heroic. Already popped his ult and goes straight in trying to take them on here. And the point has nearly been reached. Extremely well played by the NA team thus far. They are super strong. Their coordination is excellent here. And especially that Winston-Reinhardt double tank combo that they've been running in this game has been doing so well. But the defense is still in a position where they reach that spot now so much faster than their opponents. Every kill counts, but just look at the bottom of that. That's already game. That's already game. game. The defeat again for the defense twice. We had the attackers win. It's a 1-1 right now. And this combo with IDD on the Widowmaker in the back line, who gets also the play of the game here, and the double tank at the front, did amazing work for them. So great job here by the NA team. And that, of course, also just getting one headshot after another here from the back line, especially a damage boosted Widowmaker is such a menace in this game. Great job and really well played here. And of course, you can see 47% kill participation. So that's it for our maps today. As you can already see, there's a couple of things that we definitely have to talk about in the future where I have to improve. The client also is still very basic when it comes to things like the observer interface. I'm pretty sure that Blizzard is going to improve on a lot when it comes to the observing, since we of course need additional information, like for example, everything that you see after the game when it comes to like kill percentages, like kill streaks, when it comes to the accuracy of the players. If they put that into the client for the observers as well, that is going to be so much better and makes it a bit easier for the caster to really provide you with proper information. You might have also realized that with some of the maps I was still struggling there a bit, but that's going to improve over time. It's just a bit of a first peek that you get into the Overwatch casting and what it can be at some point. I'm going to make sure that I upload another video pretty soon where you will already see a bit of improvement when it comes to the observing in itself, and then over the next few days, and especially when the first few tournaments pop up, the casting itself is of course also going to improve. I still hope that you enjoyed the video and got a bit of an idea of what it's like getting at the beginning of a beta into the game. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and see you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.